Hello friends, I am Chevee. Welcome to my shed. How are you doing today? It's Thursday. Long day at work today, and then Keely had a game tonight and I didn't get to go. Actually, it's probably going on right now. Because I had to stay late at work, or later at work. But it's been a weird transition for all of us, which is funny to say because it's like, you know, they left a year ago, over a year ago, really. And, you know, all of that time we've tried to still do things, you know, as a group. But that can't continue forever. And, you know, Jamie has missed a couple of our games because of work, and then I had to miss tonight. And talking to her about it, she doesn't get it. Like, it doesn't make sense to her why I can't be at all of her games, or why in the future I won't be able to be at all of her games, especially when traveling is involved. We just can't afford it. It's just too much. And so it's going to be a transition for her and us to, you know, kind of talk her through that. We have a tournament coming up next month, and I don't see how I'm going to be able to financially afford it. And I've talked that through with her, because I need her to understand that it has nothing to do with her. It has nothing to do with, you know, whatever. There's no bad blood or anything. It just can't always be that we travel around and do this stuff as a group. And until I get some things straightened out financially, I can't afford to go on my own. It's tough. And as a parent, you know, I have a different relationship with my kids than my parents have with me, and I think that's kind of true for all of us, right? Like, I think that there's definitely people who had parents that they respected their parenting skills and have tried to emulate them, and then there's people who maybe didn't appreciate the way they were parented and have tried to do something different with their children. I'm dodging words here because I don't. My parents were not my friends. We didn't have a friendly relationship. They were parents, and I was expected to act like an adult from the moment I was able to understand what that meant. And I was disciplined heavily for most of my life. And I lived in a very structured home. And the flip side of that is, you know, Jamie and I have both tried to be very liberal with our children and teach them to make good decisions. Teaching them to make better decisions themselves is more important than forcing them to make the decisions that we want them to make. I don't know if that makes a whole lot of sense, but that's been our parenting, you know, mindset, was to empower them to be strong women and to be, you know, independent, and trust that they'll make good decisions. And that's the relationship that I have with them, which means that, you know, for them, mom and dad have always been friends. We've always been, you know, we're in this together kind of thing. And to not have one of us around has been a really big challenge for Keely. Now, my oldest Bean, I don't really know what goes on in her head. She doesn't really relate to either of us, and doesn't really spend a whole lot of time with either of us. She spends a lot more time with her mom because she doesn't come here. She very rarely wants to spend time with me, and which is strange because we have a really good relationship, I think. Maybe I'm just wrong. I think that we get along really well, and we like the same things, and we joke about stuff a lot, and we're goofballs when we're together. But maybe I make her very uncomfortable. I don't know. If I do, she won't tell me. I've tried to talk it out of her. So she doesn't come around very much. But when it comes to Keely, you know, getting her to understand that Dad will always be there for her and always love her. I can't be available all the time, and that's tough. That's really tough. I really wish I was there right now watching the game, but I can't be. It's 2 hours away. You know, it's a long drive. It's travel soccer. That's what happens. And this tournament coming up is in Columbus, which is like a 4-hour drive. So could I go? I might be able to drive up and watch a game or two. Like maybe that is a possibility. But to go over there and stay, it's not close enough to drive back and forth every day, and it's tough. It's tough when these situations occur. And I just have to figure out a better way to talk her through it. Working on it. I don't have her this weekend. I'll have her next week. I got to work on her costume. Hopefully when she comes back, I'll have it done and have a nice long talk. We'll see. But for now, thank you for being here. As always, I really do appreciate you coming back and checking up on me every day and being really good friends, being really awesome people, and telling me how you feel. Tell me about your day. Tell me what you think your parenting style is or will be in the future, or what kind of parents you had and whether you appreciated their parenting style. I'd love to hear from you. I'll see you tomorrow.
Hey, Doc, wait! I want to ask you something.
Today's random fact comes from Wikipedia. Who first proposed the theory of evolution by natural selection? In the early 19th century, Jean-Baptiste Lamarck proposed his theory of the transmutation of species, the first fully formed theory of evolution. In 1858, Charles Darwin and Alfred Russel Wallace published a new revolutionary theory that was explained in detail in Darwin's Origin of the Species.